Hi guys, okay. Today's video, we're doing Marvel Rivals tier list for Season 5. To YouTube this is different, I finally got a face cam, woo. Thanks Twitch for that one, Twitch covered it. And this is for competitive rivals, so I'll do one for esports in like, maybe a day. I don't know, depends how lazy I am. Maybe even today. But yes, okay, so, first of all, we have Emma. Emma's going in, do I say beta even? Earlier I would have put her in A tier. However, guys, the reason for beta is we check Rivals meta. Emma's got the worst win rate of all the tanks. She's got the worst win rate, bro. Oh, like, what is this? You're doing worse than the Thing? Huh? How is this possible? Anyway, point is Emma is no longer cooking. And she's not a great tank. And in case you're wondering, this here, I'm not going to use this here as my tier list. I disagree with multiple aspects. However, we're not going to go into that too deep because that's not my tier list. This is Magneto S tier. Does the game agree? Does the game agree? Does the game agree? No, the game does not agree. Okay. Magneto's S tier because he was really strong last season, and this season he's only really been given buffs. I mean, that was a micro nerf with the HP of the bubble, which means Magneto's HP at like any moment goes from like 900-ish to now just 850. I know, such a shame. And he's also able to give another hero 200 HP extra as a bubble. So, you know, and he's able to do both basically at the same time, which is relatively strong. And when I say relatively strong, I mean it makes him far better than Doctor Strange. So, you know, right now I think Magneto is S tier tank. Tank quality, he's S tier. Hulk is A tier. Hulk he's good. I mean, he hasn't changed that much from last patch notes, to be fair. You know, I mean, other than this madness, but we'll cover him later. Hulk is basically in kind of a similar state that he was last season. He's got a little buff, but I'm gonna be honest, that little buff doesn't do too much for him, especially since it's just the clap, and since it's just the clap that gives him the cooldown reduction. I'd kind of want a bit more personally. Maybe like a melee, or maybe having 2 charges of the clap, that would be cool, or having a reduced cooldown. I'd probably go for 2 charges though of the clap, because that way you actually can have a greater change on the shield. Anyway, Penny Parker, B tier above Emma Frost, arguably A tier because of new utility, and that's why. This is Diamond and above, and in case you're and this is for Penny and her win rates this season so far. And the higher up you look here, if you go to GM, 67% win rate, and she's almost 70% win rate. Like, this here is 10% win rate above Dad. Like, this is 10% above second best in GM. Okay? Penny is broken. Okay? In case you're wondering, she was broken last season. She was broken the season before that. 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 No, season 2.5. Season 2. Season 2, that's when she's okay. She's balanced in season 2. Ever since season 2, like 2.5, since season 2.5 to now, Penny has been broken. She's had a above 55% win rate, and that is crazy, bro. Penny needs enough, okay? She's too strong. Especially with 67% win rate, that's absurd. Okay. Yeah, so Penny's beat arguably even A. The only reason why I'm not putting her in A is because, like, if the enemy team is like communicating, they can shut a Penny down. Especially with like being grabbed and shit. You know, Wolverine, Bucky, or taken out by flyers, or outpoked. You know, Hela, Phoenix, Widow. Like, you know, I mean Widow not really, but you know, still Venom. Venom goes A tier. He's really strong, but he hasn't had any changes, and Thing buffs and Angela buffs and Wolverine buffs, you know, he's dropped slightly, especially since he can still be mauled by the Wolverine and everything. Thing. Now, Thing did get a buff, And it took him from C tier to B tier. And now he's ever so slightly above Emma. Um, yeah, he's just not cooking. He's not as good as he used to be, and he's still trying. He's on a long path to recovery, on being a decent tank again. Okay, but he's moving in the right direction. And we can check win rate here. GM for tanks. Look at that thing, 47% win rate this season. Last season, it's gone up. It's gone up slightly, ever so slightly. It's changed for the better. Emma Frost win rate's also tanked. But yeah, so he's ever so slightly better, but like marginally so. And also, yeah, you now need to hit right clicks them to be worth spamming, which kind of sucks. Because that way I can't just spam right click and move around the map and tank extra damage. Anyway, Angela goes A tier, below Hulk. But yeah, I'd say Angela's probably bottom of A tier. Slightly better than Penny. Because of her displacement, and she got giga buffed with that increased movement speed on her lunge or dash. I'm going to call it lunge because she just kind of skews people and goes further now with it. And her spear also gained an extra 200 health. Holy fuck, game, can you please stop buffing this ultimate? Please stop buffing the ultimate. It's too good. It needs nerfs. I swear. And then we go on to Thor. I feel like every tank got a change in the patch notes. And when I say every tank, I mean every tank that was either dead or didn't need balance changes. The tanks that didn't need balance changes include Magneto, Hulk was fine where he was. Penny Parker was fine where she was. She was too strong. She needed enough. She got a buff. Angela was fine where she was. Captain America was fine where he was. I mean, arguably he's losing his spot to Venom, but like, you know, whatever. Groot was fine where he was. And you know, they decided to buff most of them. You know, all of them that I just mentioned, because you know, they need a buff. But little old Thor, who in this change, you know, this mental mindset change, has all of a sudden gone from like an A tier to now maybe C. It's why? Because he provides so much less than all the other tanks now. The only reason why I'd be picking Thor now, and this is coming from someone who reached like top 5,000 on Thor, by the way. This is globally on season 1.5. The only reason is because Thor just gets his booty cheeks clapped. Like, you know, unless I'm playing against a thing Venom, you know, I'm not doing that, bro. Cause like, or maybe even an Angela Venom thing. Okay, those, like, if it's a combination of those, then like, yeah, I'll pick Thor. But like, I don't know, bro. He just he gets folded too easily now. Especially with all the changes that they've made, and also with how they've refused to nerf certain heroes who needed a nerf. It seems like this is the patch of buffs to interesting heroes. And I'm looking forward to the nerfs of season 5.5, or to the buffs of Thor. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just kind of waiting for a Thor season. To be fair, like at this point, I'm waiting for Thor to just get like a plus 15% damage boost or some shit. Like, fucking hey, go crazy, go big or go home. You know, plus 100 HP, plus 15% damage. Like, sounds like a Captain America change. Shit, Camp got plus 5% damage. But yeah, anyway, we're looking for something like that. Captain America. Yeah, he's above Hulk. The ult change was nice. Plus 30% ult charge. That's crazy. That's crazy. That might be the difference between you going from one support ult every other fight, or like, you know, in 3 fights you use 2 supports. Now you go 3 for 3. You know, like now you might be able to build that ult charge just fast enough to win. And then we have Groot. S tier. Maybe above Mag, but right now I'm holding off. I don't think I'm gonna put him above Mag as of right now, because he's got a way to go. I feel like for Groot to be above Magneto, he needs a little bit more. He needs just a little bit more, and then he's gonna be mauling shit up. But he's relatively strong. He's pretty damn strong. And then we have Strange. Wah, wah. Actually, here. Just play Mag, bro. Like, play Mag, play Groot. Why are you picking Strange, bro? Strange, like, just saying. Strange is kind of falling off. You know, especially with Groot and Mag getting stronger, and then Strange just kind of got left behind. Like, all of the tanks who weren't changed have kind of been either left behind, or that's because they were really strong last season, and therefore they're fine with it. For reference, by the way, okay? Emma has fallen off. Thor's fallen off. Strange has fallen off. And then Venom was busted last season. He was like here, and now he's here. Like, you know, it's just power change, you know. Hawkeye. Hawkeye probably realistic. Like, he has a potential of being S and D tier at the same time, and that kind of balances out somewhere in the A tier. Because like, if you're good at Hawkeye, you can arguably win a team fight by yourself. Especially if you kill the whole back line. You know, you then go like Luna headshot, Invis headshot, and then you go for the DPS. You know, like, yeah, you can kind of win a team fight solo. But realistically, though, are you hitting those headshots every time? Probably not. Sorry, unless you've been drinking some pro gamer juice. You know, you know, you're probably not hitting those. Hela, Esther still. Last season has not changed. The Helen Namor team up is busted. We're doing Namor next. They're both Esther. They're both pretty strong independently, and that team up is still ridiculously strong. Iron Fist. B tier. He's not the strongest melee character in his class. I'm not sure who that now goes to. Especially with the Wolverine buffs, the strong relatively strong Mr. Fantastic, and the Daredevil. Daredevil still being really strong. From last patch. Yeah, and I think he's fallen down slightly because of it. Just ever so slightly he's fallen. Iron Man. I think we might put him bottom of B, maybe top of C. Put him above. Yeah. Because there are some team comps where you can play an Iron Man and you will destroy the enemy team. Like, you could go 30-3 as Iron Man. And then there are other comps where you might go 3-13 as Iron Man. Because, you know, their supports are locked in, or they've got an Adam Warlock and a Hela, or they've got a Punisher and an Ultron, and you're just going to get focused, and you're going to get no value, really. So, with Iron Man, it's a slippery slope. You have potential of getting S tier value, but you also have value of doing absolutely nothing. And therefore, like Hawkeye, you kind of also balance out in B tier. You need the right team comp on the enemy team for you to cook. What's her name? Magic. A tier. She's pretty strong, yes. Win rates, by the way. Win rates show this. 54%. Pretty strong. Fallen down slightly from last season, but she's pretty strong. And she can work really well. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say about Magic. She's been in a pretty good state for a while now. Her team up with Strange is a nice addition for her, but she doesn't need it. I feel like Strange kind of benefits more than Magic does from the team up. So, you know, 8 is fair. She works well in dive, but, you know, she can work well in a lot of team comps. And then we have Moon Knight. Now, as much as I hate Moon Knight, and as much as I want him to be terrible, he isn't. He's actually a pretty solid pick. 20 to 30% of the time. I mean, he's got a negative win rate, but like with Moon Knight, if you can play him properly, if you can actually get kills, if you can jump the back line, it might result in you dying a lot. But like, if you can effectively wipe out 1 or 2 supports real quick, and then ult on the like, you know, Like, I will dislike you, but I won't say you're doing nothing. Because, you know, Moon Knight can work, but I don't see it very often. Black Panther. Bro, this guy feels like he's been left behind, bro. You see Spider-Man buffs this patch, Psylocke buffs last patch. Who else? Star-Lord. Star-Lord got a team up with Rocket last patch. What else? Who else is on the dive roster who's been buffed recently? Yeah. Sorry, BP. You've just kind of been left behind, especially with all those nerfs. Rip. Black Widow. She also goes in C tier. Above Black Panther, but like, I don't know. She just isn't that good. And she got a team up with Phoenix that allows her to heal. But like, dog, at that point they're kind of creating an Ana V2. You know, like, just saying. That would be crazy though if Black Widow just became like a support overnight. You know, they just were like, she's becoming support now, and her shots are now explosive, and that'd be crazy. Psylocke's top of A tier personally. I think she's really good. She's not quite an S tier, but Psylocke can work very well. You don't really need to be organized with the team on Psylocke. Like, it helps, but you can do solo dives and you can get eliminations, and you work pretty well. Scarlet Witch. Is D too harsh? Is it too harsh though? It might be, but maybe not. You know, we'll put him above Black Panther, but she is not very good this season. She's got a way to go strength-wise. She doesn't do much damage, and she kind of needs the Strange team up to do damage. Really, she needs the Strange team up a lot more than Strange needs that team up with her. You know, she's like, please, I need to do damage, and she just doesn't do damage. You know, it just kind of sucks for her. Spider-Man. I don't want to say this, but he's top of B tier. Arguably bottom A, but top of B tier because he just works. Like, Spider-Man's actually pretty effective now. He's gone from a not very good hero to actually semi-decent, and it's annoying. I don't like a strong or decently powered Spider-Man, which he currently is, because it means I need to think about him. Like, it's a thought that I now need to have at the back of my mind. Is Spider-Man gonna get a pick on my backline? It's now a thought again. And the Spider-Man mains must be extremely happy about this. But he's pretty strong. And I think it's good for him. You know, Spider-Man's been kind of bad for a while now. You know, it's great. It's great for him. Squirrel Girl, she's got buffed. She's going around there. I think maybe we might be going into a group meta, and if we do, Squirrel Girl's definitely gonna help with that. And Squirrel Girl's also great at shooting at big tanks, big beefy tanks. Thing, Hulk, Venom, Groot. You know, tons of ultimates, especially with that damage boost as well of plus 10 damage. So now her hits do 110, which is for her a nice change. Anyway, here we go on Star-Lord. Star-Lord goes A tier? Yeah, A tier, but below Magic. Yeah. I think it's just, I don't know what it is, but with Star-Lord, the more I play this game, the more I come to realize having an ultimate which either forces out a support ultimate or can get 3 or 4 kills is ridiculously strong. And I've realized now that Star-Lord can get 3 or 4 kills if there is no enemy support ultimate to counteract it. And sometimes even if there is an enemy support ultimate, it depends which one it is, because some of them might not work. Like, some of them won't out-heal it. You know? Or if it's an Ultron ultimate, your Ultron's just gonna die and waste ult, and then your team's still gonna die. Like, you know, it cooks. And then this Daredevil guy, I don't need to explain him. He's Esther. He's really strong. He was strong last patch. He's strong this patch. and I personally just dislike Daredevil, but like he's strong. I will admit he is a strong hero. He does work pretty well. Um, and yeah, he definitely does deserve S tier. And then we have Storm. You know what? Storm's also S tier. Fuck it, we're gonna go generous today. Okay, with Storm, she's S tier, and she is S tier because Storm is able to cook. And when I say Storm's able to cook, that damage boost plus 15%. Bro, what? What were they thinking? That's crazy. That's really good. But Storm isn't gonna make a bad team good, but she's gonna make a good team great. Which I'm pretty sure I said last time I did Marvel Rivals tier list. But it's true. It's so true. Storm makes a good team even better, and she doesn't do anything for a bad team. So yeah, Storm is S tier, and she slaps. Punisher. Judge Drury Executioner. Bro. Bro does not cook. He's lost a team up with Black Widow, which means he does less damage now. Rip. What else has changed from? I mean, he got the plus 25 HP, which he got from the team up, but you know, it ain't that much from. It ain't like a life-changing thing from. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I put him in B tier last time. Yeah, he's kind of there to stay. Bucky Barnes. A tier? Is that a fair place from? Yeah, I'd say so. Because of course with Dive being Spider-Man, you get your ass an A tier now. Above Moon Knight. Moon Knight go down to B. Especially with Dive being relatively prominent with Spider-Man, Magic, Psylocke, Daredevil. We're gonna get onto some of the freaks here later. And he cooks. He does pretty well. Wolverine, S tier. Nope, right there. He is probably the best in S tier. He is probably the best. I love Wolverine. I used to play a lot of Wolverine back in the day of season 1.5, and now I'm beginning to play Wolverine a lot more again because holy shit, they cooked. Wolverine is. It might be another Wolverine season, guys. You might need to ban Wolverine and Hela. Those might be your two ban picks. Okay, they might have to be. Okay, and then I don't know how you're gonna deal with Daredevil. Okay, like that's gonna have to be your nightmare. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with the Daredevil in your nightmares. You know, like hopefully you have a Daredevil 1v1, and hopefully it's a stalemate. That's what you pray for now. Okay. Or you hope your Daredevil wins, to be honest. That's what you really would want. But like stalemate, you know, that's more realistic. Mr. Fantastic. A tier. The buffs were big. He's booming. Yeah, it's a nice change in all round for him. He definitely does benefit from the changes, and he's nice. He works better now. He is. Let me actually pull up the patch notes here. Let me pull up the patch notes. Sorry, let me make sure I'm actually quoting this correctly. Yeah, he's a lot better, and he can also now go use his reflexive rubber in in inflated state, which is a huge win for him, because now he's more survivable, which means he can get away with slightly more. Torch. Like with Torch, it's a fall off of a century, bro. It's actually fall off of the century, bro. Like this guy used to be good, and now he's absolute cheeks. D tier even. D tier. He's gone from good to absolutely terrible. He's terrible now. Like, I'm sorry guys, if you main Torch, this is not your season, bro. Last season was not your season, okay? Torch is gone. Torch is like, who? He's garbage. Like, he's actually terrible now. Buff Torch. Phoenix. Phoenix is not as strong as Hela, but she got a buff. She got a buff in longer range. Behind Bucky. Behind Bucky, yeah. That's where she is. She's an A tier, above Spider-Man. But she's not as good as Hela. But, you know. And then there's Blade. I'm not too sure about Blade. Blade Moon Knight team up, though, is definitely strong. But I don't think he deserves S tier. I think he's like here. Here, yeah. I don't think he's as good as Moon Knight. I think he's slightly worse than Iron Fist. But I think he's definitely better than everything that comes below him here. I think. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen many Blades, but from the patch notes and the team up, he definitely seems like he's gonna be good, or better than he was. And when I say patch notes, I mean the new team up that he got. And Moon Knight actually gets the boost in the team up. He gets plus 5% damage, which is crazy. Moving on to supports. Okay, so we're now on to the kind of final things here, aren't we? We're down to final 10, I think. I think there's 10 supports in game now. Yeah, there's 10. And in the supports in S tier, as follow Invis. She was really good last patch, and she's only gone better. You know. Therefore, S tier is fair. This guy, Gambit, because Bro has got a nasty Magneto team up. He also works pretty well on his own. Yeah, he also works pretty well without the team up, and he's good. He's a decent healer overall. Who else got changed in meaningful ways? Support ways. Sorry, I forget to read support patch note changes. Loki got a buff. Okay, hold up. There we go. Sorry, I now should have this. Okay. Loki. I think Loki might be making a return. I'm gonna be honest. Plus 25 HP for Loki. That's a good thing. And what else does he have now? He's got plus 25 HP. He's got the damage fall off. That's been reduced from 80% to 50%. He does plus 10 additional healing on direct hits to allies, which is great. Yeah. I think Loki might be coming back here. If you're doing triple support, probably Loki. But having said that, Hadron might be back as well, because his ultimate became cheaper and better. So it's now cheaper. It costs 200 points less, and it costs. What does it say? It says the where's the exact? It says the ultimate ability energy cost has been reduced by 200, and it increases the ally detection radius by 5 meters, which is crazy, because it's so much more range. It means it goes even further. Ultron, rip that clanker, bro. It's like the devs are trying to fade Ultron out. Like after season 2.5, when they introduced him, they were like, "Shit, he's a bit too good. He needs to go." And now Ultron's just kind of cooked. Ultron needs some buffs. Probably increase healing, maybe decrease ult cost, and then go from there. Rocket. A or maybe top of B. Top of B. We're gonna go top of B. Rocket's. He got. Actually, no. Bottom of A. Rocket got a couple of buffs. Makes him a lot stronger, makes him a lot better. He now works better as a support. He heals faster. He does more damage. Well, his bullets travel faster. He generally has become slightly better at healing, because he's got more projectiles that he can send out, and they also travel faster, and his shooting is faster, and his res has got a reduced cooldown from 45 seconds to 40, which is nice changes. I'm not gonna put him in ST yet, because I feel like in comparison to these two, he's a notch behind, but he definitely is good. Cloak and Dagger above Rocket, but behind Adam and Loki, because Invis is just the superior support choice right now for the ult. And then if you want a second one, you probably go with either Cloak and Dagger or Loki. And then Gambit, Gambit just, he cooks. Like, come on. He cooks, okay? Like, be real. And then we have Jeff. I feel like the net changes of the patch notes, even though Jeff, I think, is unaffected. Yeah, even though Jeff is unaffected by the patch notes directly, he's been indirectly affected, and now he's in beta. Like, I feel like he's fallen down a bit. Especially with the Adam buffs, the Loki buffs, and then the introduction of Gambit. I feel like they're all like factors which indirectly make Jeff worse. Like, you can definitely still play Jeff, and you can definitely still get tons of value from him, but I just feel like he's fallen down a peg, because where you would have had Jeff typically, or in the past, I feel like Loki or Adam might replace him, or even Gambit might replace him in like many of those positions. Mantis, still Eta. She wasn't changed. She wasn't affected in the patch notes, which is fair. She's pretty strong back then. I don't think she's gonna get any worse. None of the supports really are gonna take a spot where she was. And then Luna Snow. Dog, is C tier fair though? Like, is it fair? I mean, yeah, I think so. I think so. I think she is kind of garbage. Yeah. I mean, her ultimate's good, but I don't know. I just feel like Luna's worse than the other two, Cloak and Dagger and Invis. And then, I don't know. She just doesn't seem like you want her to be your main support for the ult. And then, yeah. Anyway, that's the tier list, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my personal opinion. You don't need to agree with everything. And yeah, that was it. And I realize that with these tier lists, the longer they get, the worse they are to watch. But yeah, that was kind of it. I should be live on Twitch tonight, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see. Probably tonight though. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, follow me on Twitch, and join the Discord. That's gonna be down in the description, by the way. I'll see you around. Peace.